First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. No additions or corrections noted. Take a motion.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet, Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is public comments. The time and place for any comments other than those that are on a public hearing. Anyone in the audience wish to address the council at this time? Hearing none or seeing none, moving on to item 5, consent agenda.
I would like to pull item 6 for discussion. At your convenience.
Yep, we'll discuss it right after. Pulling item 6. Any other questions? Take a motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda minus item 6.
Roll call, please.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Gary, you want to speak to number 6?
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you, Mayor. Item 6 is a lease agreement that would be expiring here in 5 years. The new lease agreement with AT&T and Singular Wireless continues on to those 5 years and also takes us another 25 years out with a 10% kicker increase, if you will, every 5 years on the term. There is many outs in the agreement and actually extends our agreement with AT&T for many years into the future.
I just wanted to pull this to make sure everybody knew it's nothing new. There's no new building going up on a water tower. It's just an extension of what's there. Just so people would know.
Kurt? Any other questions? Take a motion to approve 6.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet, Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is new business. Under new business, action item number 1, Whitetail Ridge. It's time to close the regular meeting and open the public hearing on the proposal to enter into an amendment number 3 to the development agreement with Polk County, Iowa and Big Creek Development LC. I'll ask the clerk when the notice was published.
October 13th.
Any written comments for or against?
No, sir.
Like staff to present a report.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a little confusing because there's ins and outs, if you will. I'm going to take items A and C, which are the 2 public hearings, and B and D, which is the 2 actions on those public hearings, and combine it all together. Currently, there is a TCI development agreement, which is called Big Creek Development LC, and the amendment number 3 takes out the interior of Big Creek Valley POD, or sometimes called Plat 6, removes that and places it into a development agreement that is between Polk County and MJR Development as a new one, which is Whitetail Ridge, as well as Big Creek Valley subdivision. This also allows the city water to run from the lift station that is in the middle of TCI out and goes into the county and then goes back into the city and serves Whitetail Ridge and will end at the end of their development property on Hub Drive. So there's a lot of moving parts in this. We have to remove the property from one and add it to another and then create the new. And that's what you're doing tonight.
Keep in mind that TCI and this one also, the new urban renewal area that is being created, are really urban renewal areas for Polk County County's urban renewal areas because we needed Polk County's bonding capacity years ago when we did TCI. So Polk County is taking the lead on everything, and Polk City is kind of tailing along, and but they need our approval to do it.
I think this was just on their agenda, like this last week.
They're going to set the hearing tomorrow and it'll be on
tomorrow,
their agenda,
okay.
the first meeting in November.
Okay.
So that's why we're needing to do it tonight, so we're ahead and everything will be in place when they have their public hearing.
Anything else to add on your end? Is there anyone present who wishes to be heard for or against the proposed development agreement? Hearing none, seeing none, I need a motion to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item B, consider motion to approve Resolution 2017-113, authorizing execution of Amendment Number 3 to the Development Agreement by and among the City of Polk City, Polk County, Iowa, and Big Creek Development, LC. Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Motion carries. Item C, it's time to close the regular meeting and open public hearing on the proposal to enter into a development agreement with Polk County, Iowa, and MJR Developments, LLC. As the clerk notice was published.
October 13th.
Any comments for or against?
No, sir.
Yeah. Want to provide any additional report on it?
It would be all of the same things that I said in item A. You're just now taking what you carved out in item B and putting it in to the new district in item D.
I'll again ask if there's anyone present who wants to be heard for or against the proposed development agreement. Hearing none or seeing none, I need a motion to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting.
Move to close public hearing. Second.
Roll call.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item D, consider motion to approve Resolution 2017-114, authorizing execution of development agreement by and among the City of Polk City, Polk County, Iowa, and MJR Developments, LLC. Take a motion.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item E, consider motion to approve Resolution 2017-122, approving roadway and storm sewer construction drawings for Whitetail Ridge Phase 1. Whoever?
I can. Also, we've got folks here from Shive Hattery here to answer any questions. This is just a little bit different than you sometimes see with plats. You've already approved the construction drawings for the sanitary sewer and water main, partly because with this TIP project, they were kind of beyond the bounds of the plat, and so more of a trunk type of services. So now they're coming back with the storm sewers and the paving and a temporary detention pond for the northwest Hug Drive circle. So that cul-de-sac off of Hug Drive there.
You guys have anything to add?
Customer Square, the Shine Battery. I think that covers a lot of it. We do have a permanent detention basin as well, located on the northwest. So we'll be having 2 detention basins now. And like Kathleen said, the second temporary one will be removed and reconstructed in a separate phase at a future time.
And they did submit, had a new submittal today, and all of our comments were addressed.
So I see in the minutes went through P and Z, but I couldn't listen to the audio or the tape. Any discussion there from?
Construction drawings don't go to PNC.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Sorry.
that's right.
Couldn't tell. The audio wasn't good.
Questions, comments?
No, sir.
Okay. Take a motion on E.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jared can get busy now, is that? Item 2. Yeah, item 2, wow. Consider motion to approve resolution 2017-116, ordering construction of certain public improvements for Davis Street reconstruction project, fixing dates for public hearing thereon, November 27, 2017 at 6:30 p.m., taking bids thereon, November 10, 2017 at 10 a.m. Take motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-117, setting a public hearing for rezoning crossroads of the lakes from PUD to C2.
So moved.
Perfect.
Second.
Roll call.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4, Deer Haven. Item 4A, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-118, setting a public hearing for the vacation of existing sanitary sewer and storm sewer easements in Deer Haven Plat 1 and Plat 2. Motion to approve, set a public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item B, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-119, approving an agreement to complete Deer Haven Plat 1 and Plat 2. Gary?
There are several items that are outstanding that need to be done to complete Deer Haven Plat 1 and Plat 2. The resolution is in front of you with numbers that have been added to Resolution 2017-119. There is, in this agreement to complete, that this resolution references is $67,646 in cost for public improvements and $16,750 for seating and the establishment of seating. The $67,646, don't know why it couldn't have been anything but sixes, check will be held until such time as the improvements are complete, and there will be no building permits that will be issued until these items are completed. The $16,750 will be held until the established seating, which is expected by next spring, pretty late in the season this year for that. With this resolution being passed and that agreement being entered into by the city being the agreement to complete, that opens up the city council to look at Deer Haven plat, the final plats for Plat 1 and Plat 2. Plat 3 is expected to be sometime in the near future.
A couple of quick questions or points of clarification. By voting on this tonight, I see in here that it says no building permit shall be issued. What does this vote tonight accomplish for both the city and the developer?
There's 3 weeks between now and our next council meeting. And what this does is it allows the developer, once we have everything in order, and that resolution basically says that we don't do this without all the easements and everything getting the final review from Amy and everything being in order. Once that is done, that allows the developer to file his plat. That's usually a couple-week process. So what we're doing is, by that going on at the same time to finishing construction, it's going to allow the people out there to get started probably in November instead of December 2000.
But for those that, I know this has been explained, but just so people understand, for those people that have already put in building permits and stuff, the city that are kind of up until everything's completed, does this process expedite any of that?
It can. And what we will do is we will put those building permits through, and we will hold them here in the office until all of these items that are referenced in this resolution are completed.
So basically cut any lag time.
Yes, it will.
And then the only other question I had is for the developer. I'm sorry, there's a couple questions that have come up to me since this has been on. If I understand this right, once this is passed, you can sell a lot, but you can't get a permit to build on it.
Correct.
In that meantime, for those people, and I think we have some here tonight that have lots out there, will they be able to wait to purchase their lot until said building permits can be issued?
Yes.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
So I have it right in my head, and that we need. So plat 1 is basically Deer Haven and Ophir, and plat 2 is Grimes and Burton Drive, essentially, right? Okay.
Anything else to add on your part or anybody's part?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to
Absolutely.
point out, my name's John Klein, 475 Houses Road, Waukee, Iowa. This has been a process, as we all know, a couple-year process. But, your staff has been wonderful to work with. Everybody sitting at this table, Gary, they've been wonderful. We wouldn't have been able to accomplish what we accomplished. I don't know if you've been out there to look at the project.
Yeah.
I know you have.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful project.
It is.
And we just wouldn't have gotten there without these folks, so my hat's off to them.
Thank you for that. Appreciate hearing that a lot.
I know you hear the other stuff lots of times. You need to hear
Never.
that too.
Never. It's all good, all the time, I promise.
Well, and I don't want to gloss over that because that last thing you said is very, very true.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of anxious people, some of whom are here, that have been waiting, and we've heard from some of them. So just, we're almost there. Just follow it through. So
And
We don't get paid till it gets done.
I get it.
And I think that, again, the city working with you to try and, again, 3 weeks between council meetings, normally there's 2. I mean, we're doing everything we can. Realizing
Absolutely.
we're up against the wall weather-wise, so I think all parties working together is great. We'll get there. Rob, I'm sorry.
Yeah, on kind of on that same note that the other Rob here mentioned, for those people that have been asking a lot of questions to the city, and I know you can't control Mother Nature, do you have any idea where you hope to be time-wise?
We were actually, as of 4:45, we're still out there working.
Yeah.
And so we've got we can't clean the streets until we get that rubble. They were hauling last load out today. I anticipate if the weather cooperates in any fashion, that we should be buttoned up in there in probably 5 to 6 working days.
Awesome.
Kathleen, would you concur?
That seems reasonable.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I'd take a motion on B.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, discussion? Roll call, please.
Sargent, Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item C, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-120, approve Deer Haven final plat 1. Anything else to add? Nothing. Okay. Take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, discussion?
Yeah,
Ron?
I see there's an awful long punch list here. Is that part of what was said earlier about?
Yeah, the punch list is attached to the agreement complete, is the items that they are currently working on, and that's what the check covers. And when that punch list is complete is when the building will be issued
Thank you.
the check.
Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sargent.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item D, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-121, approving Deer Haven final plat 2. A motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sargent.
Motion carries. Item 5, consider motion to approve resolution 2017-88, approving an amended site plan for West Elementary North Polk Community School District. Who's the lucky one, Kevin?
Good night.
So you were maybe making a run for it there. I wouldn't blame you.
It's Kevin Stromberg with Ethos Design Group here representing the school district. Our office is just over across the square. We're here seeking, or I'm here seeking your guys' approval of the amended site West Elementary. I'll just go ahead and walk through a summary, if that's okay, of
Perfect.
the changes, and then if you guys have any questions afterwards, happy to answer them. So I'm just going to work my way down here on the project description provided by Snyder and Associates. The first one there lists that there's more trees removed than what was on the original approved site plan submittal. Those trees include 8 trees that were removed in the area where the new soccer fields are proposed. 2 trees that were just south of the existing elementary school. There were ash trees that had to come out for the construction access lane, and also where the future addition goes is also where it was located. And then 1 tree up here in one of the islands in the parking lot came out because of a trench that had to be dug for the fire extinguisher, or sorry, the fire hydrant. And then 1 tree down here on the south was a small tree that came out when the storm sewer was buried. It wasn't going to survive, so that was taken out. And then these 3 trees, I should also know, these 3 trees down here were originally shown to be taken out, but they didn't have to come out, so those 3 stayed. They were originally thought to have to come out because of that storm sewer, but we were able to keep those. The next one, 2 soccer fields are shown on the west side here. They're the same size as soccer fields that were there at West Elementary before. They're just rearranged on the site. And they're also shown as being held 25 feet off the property line. And the last one that you guys saw that was closer to the property line now is 25 feet off. The swing set is no longer being relocated. It's remaining where it is currently located. And then also there's another piece of playground equipment that is shown in the new location. This piece of playground equipment here was originally shown to go up here in this location. The principal decided it works better just for where they have different grade levels for that playground equipment to be over this location. The south buffer was increased to 76 arborvitae versus the 62 that was previously approved. Then the last item there is the hard surface playground here has shifted north 10 feet. That's to allow a temporary sidewalk that is tight to the south fence line to remain there so that kids can still get to school from the south side of the property while they're pouring that hard surface playground. And that's a summary.
Good summary. Questions? Kathleen, any comments on your side?
Not really. I mean, they did, you may want to mention that they had some discussion.
Oh,
They did
yes,
not
I
want-
forgot to mention that. Sorry about that.
That's right.
So the previous site plan that you guys saw showed the trees on the west side of the soccer field. After consulting with the neighbors, six property owners here, lots 16 through 21, they all signed. I think you guys got a copy of that. They signed a piece of paper saying that they didn't want trees behind their properties, despite property owner of lot 21 said that they would like a maple tree there. Out of the 2 that we sort of gave them as an option. So we're showing one up there, just saying we'll plant one there in agreement between the school and lot 21 property. So.
Just curious on the soccer field, since the last time you were here, did it move farther since you were at council last time?
Yes.
And what was the reason for the move?
It moved, the soccer field moved further to the east just to get it away from
Away
the
from the
property.
fence, okay, because I know
Yeah.
Councilman Anderson had brought that up, regarding faults and stuff. Oh, glad to hear that happened.
Well, again, I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry that you have to come here instead of your boss. I would have loved nothing more than to see him tonight. But obviously, some people disappear when they go and get stuff. Who did the survey of the property owners?
The survey was done by Abakai.
Okay, so it wasn't somebody from your group?
Abakai, the survey is contracted directly with.
No, I mean of the neighbors for trees.
Oh, sorry. Who went and consulted the neighbors?
Who asked the neighbors whether they wanted trees or not?
That was our.
Was it you?
No, that was Tim Olson.
Okay. Well, sorry for the theatrics tonight, folks, but this is a long time coming. I'm sorry for you too, because you're gonna have to hear about this. This is an email from 2010 from Tim Olson. And just bear with me for a minute here, but this is a long time coming, and I guess you'll see why I'm asking what it is. In 2010, your boss belittled one of our employees in this email to probably 60 or 70 people there. Having to do with the school bond issue, you may ask why it matters in this. I think it matters a lot if he's the one that did the survey of these residents. In that email, he said that regardless where the school would be, costs would be the same and property taxes wouldn't go up any differently. Do you believe if somebody's giving you 45 acres of free land and all the infrastructure, the price is the same? It's a yes or no answer.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. I don't understand the question.
If you have two deals on the table, this isn't real hard. If you have two deals on the table and one company, Polk City, is giving you free land and infrastructure, and the other one we're having to buy through eminent domain, do you think that's the same price? One false comment. The second one is, he said that businesses were more likely to locate between I-35 and Alma instead of Polk City. Do you think, has that been proven true in 8 years? Do you know of any businesses between Alma and I-35? I'll answer that for you. No. Alma and Elkhart have more potential to improve tax base than Polk City. That's the same guy that's trying to give us this information about the trees right now. Do you think that's happened in the last 8 years?
Yeah, I don't have any comment on any of these things.
Well, of course you don't. Number 4, there's no sense to spend money on an architectural firm until a bond passes. Do you know any city in their right mind or any company that asked for a blank check without any facts to back up their argument?
Again, I don't have any comments. I'm just here to get
That's
approval.
okay. We're going to cover these regardless. It's for our city employee that's not here tonight that was berated by your boss that is trying to give us a trust me on the trees response. The technology park is not a good location, and he told our employees had 3 years to work with that. Well, his math apparently isn't good either, because it's been 8 years. And my favorite of all ones, he talked with the members of Fairway, and they're not building Fairway here. I just shopped there tonight. Maybe I'm confused. It says Fairway in the front. What I'm getting at, since your boss doesn't want to show up and address the council, I know he was upset that we didn't put his little racetrack around the school. And so obviously many of us believe that he just went through and ramrodded this project through. And I hope that in the future that we find a way to deal with people that don't do that, maybe put some teeth in our language. But it's really hard for me to believe, if he's the one that did the survey on the trees, that any of it's true, because as this email will show you, nothing he said in this is true. And he based his campaign for the school board on false information as well. So tell him hi for me. Thank you.
Any questions for Kevin on item 5? If not, I would take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sarchet? Lane?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Mordini?
For the school itself, yes. I'm voting on behalf of the school itself and not his boss who was not willing to be here.
Motion carries. Thank you, Kevin. Item 6, consider motion to approve third reading of ordinance 2017-900, stop, yield, and no parking. I'll take the motion.
We heard anything more on this?
Nope.
No, sir, I haven't. I've talked to some other residents. They're curious why. And the only way I can give them is because of the expected increased traffic from the Deer Haven development, which doesn't suit them a whole lot, but it's the best explanation I
Yeah, kind of what I've got.
I also explained to the people I've talked to that question was asked last meeting about how, if that doesn't prove to be true with increased traffic, that the parking could come back. And I think we should keep that in mind.
make a motion to approve ordinance 2017-900.
Second.
Roll call.
Lane,
Yes.
Anderson,
No.
Mordini,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7, Mayor's Report. Couple quick things. Number 1 is a reminder of the candidate forum next Tuesday, 7 p.m. over at the Community Center. Today we had a groundbreaking for city laundering out at the technology campus. It was a nice short event, but had a chance to talk to the owner, the president, as well as the folks with Estes Construction. Very excited to have those folks in town. They're building about an 11,000 square foot building. They're going to be moving their facility from Urbandale out to Polk City. The facility in Urbandale has about 3,200 to 3,500 square feet, about 6 to 7 employees. The 11,000 square foot facility here that was initially supposed to be about 5. They've decided to go with 11. We'll have 30 employees. They hope to start to have that building open sometime next March or April. So I'm very excited to have those folks in town. Very excited to see some development out at the technology campus. I think that as well as the expansion of the road that we have approved, that they will be getting started on soon. If you get a chance to drive out and take a look at how far that's going to go out there, I'm excited that there's going to be some future development opportunities coming out out in that area. So again, welcome City Laundering to town. Very excited to have. Well, I have Councilman Dvorak is out of town tonight. Mr. Mordini.
Based on what I had earlier, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about that. I think people in this community deserve to know the truth and not what's sent out in an email for political purposes when you want a bond issue to pass, regardless of where you stand on the issue. That wasn't done that time, and this has been a long time coming. Sometimes you have to question those that are giving you the information, and the facts are the facts. That's one thing you can't change. Everybody has an opinion, the saying that goes with that. Having said that, I'd like to know if we can look into doing anything in the future when somebody tries to scapegoat the process. And in this issue, we didn't want to build his racetrack, and so things suddenly changed. I'd like to know what we can do legally, or what we can look into legally on changing the process for dealing with people that willfully and wantonly disrespect we have on books. If not, why have a process at all? I don't know if we can look into that.
You can. There's one of the things that has come to my mind, Rob, in working through this process is a letter or something from the people that own the project stating that this is what they want, that these are their plans and specifications. Usually you don't have that with a developer. In this case, with an elected board, I think there was a lot of disjointedness, and I think that needs to be addressed.
I would agree, and then, like we mentioned before, nobody wants to see the school hurt on this. I don't think the school was behind that. It's very unfortunate, to say the least. But there's a lot of unfortunate things. I find it rather ironic that the person that owns the firm can't come to any of our meetings, but he can go talk about trees to neighbors that may or may not have been given bad information in the past as well. So, points to me. Thanks.
Mr. Sargent.
Nothing from me.
Mr. Lane.
Oh, a couple things. First, I'd like to thank staff for taking the quick action and getting the speed trailer out, where I brought up at the last meeting, from Deb, and I know I'll butcher her last name, Wollenscroft, I believe. Anyway, I've had several email conversations with her, and she has sent me a picture of a sign she'd like to put up in her yard. I told her as long as it wasn't in the city's right of way, I was sure it would be okay, but I'll just check with you, Gary, before I leave here tonight to make sure.
Yeah, what is the sign? And I don't have the sign ordinance in front of me.
Let's look at it after the meeting. Yeah.
Right here, says please slow down. A couple little dogs at play. See any problem with that?
Check our sign ordinance.
I have to look into that, but
Check our sign ordinance.
Okay.
I want to echo the mayor's comments on Big Creek Technology Campus. It's absolutely wonderful to see something happening out there. And talk about stuff happening. Is anything happening on Hug Drive? I mean, what is it? It seems like half the summer is closed.
I just talked to Jared before the meeting. He said,
Waiting for concrete to cure.
waiting for concrete to cure.
May I ask what all you did there? I mean, pardon my
Utilities under the road.
I don't know, but pardon my rudeness. If you're just putting a few pipes under the road, that's not a multi-month project.
How long's it been closed?
A month max.
It's been more.
Plans weren't approved until September 11th, so I know I didn't start until after September 11th.
Seems like it's been
I think
closed
the DNR
forever.
permit is even approved after that.
Well, my apologies, and it just seems like it's been closed forever.
Yeah, we're anxious to get it open back up too.
My wife likes to go up Big Creek and look for deer, and it's a lot more convenient when that road is open.
Yep.
And the last thing is, Councilman Mordini, I would like to thank you. I appreciate your passion on the subject. You're not just one person against the world, even though it sometimes seems that way. But I'm very glad that you are as vocal as I wish I were able to.
Mr. Anderson.
I'd just like to echo what Dan said and appreciate your boldness, for lack of a better word. And I think that strides have been made in the right direction. Jason meeting with them, and hopefully,
I agree.
hopefully that can prevent stuff from the end. And hopefully the school board has learned something as well as we have. Yes, Dan, Hug Drive's been closed for a while, and it's really interfered with my town patrol. But soon to be opened up, and it'll be a nicer road, I believe.
Perfect. Mr. Mahana.
Thank you, Mayor. Going to the comment that was made by Dan Lane at the last council meeting. 3rd Street is being studied for traffic flows, and try to find out if we have any gaps as well as speed. Staff has met on this, and we have several alternatives. I don't want to get into all the alternatives that are out there right now, but we will be bringing back the results and a recommendation moving forward. With that, I would also like to switch the subject to 504 Roosevelt. I have Washington on here, just another president. That the structure at that address has been totally removed. That includes basement walls, basement floor. The hole that was created has been filled in. Still left on site are a fence, several remaining trees, and the capping of services. Once that is done, this phase, this chapter, if you will be closed. I'm sure the book isn't going to be closed yet, but
35-year book.
it's been a long book. I think it was written by Charles Dickens, so.
I've talked to a couple of the neighbors up there, particularly Jack Timmy, who brought this forward to us for a year ago. Been working on it since then, and he's very pleased with the progress that we've made, and pleased to see some changes up there. I know there's some displaced rodents, and it's too bad. So anyway, but looking forward to seeing what comes of that, and I appreciate your thought process and where we're potentially going down the road with that property.
Ask you a question with your comment about misplaced rodents.
Yeah.
Was anything done to eradicate them other than just send them on to the neighbors?
I think they may have burned. My personal opinion.
I say that because I grew up
No, I know.
near a city, and they
Yeah.
closed the city dump, but they did nothing about the rodent population in the surrounding farm, inundated with literally thousands of rats. I'm not suggesting it was anywhere near.
No. Careful.
No.
Anything else, sir?
That's all I have.
Perfect. Excellent. Attorneys report. Engineers report. Public Works report.
I would just like to say that Chris Silver from Ankeny Christian Academy, and I believe he's a North Polk football coach also.
Wrestling, I think, too.
Okay.
Something. I don't know.
Brought over 15 freshman guy volunteers, and they spent about 4 hours in the town square doing some dirt work, filling some holes, raking, sweeping around the square. So
I want to commend you on that because I got that email. I sent it off to you, copied him in, and I mean, I think that we had that thing less than an hour.
right.
And I know that he had tried to go around and maybe get some other opportunities, and the fact that you were able to jump on it that quick, great job out of you, because I know he was just looking for some manual labor, and you were like, hey, I got, wheelbarrows and dirt, so he was ready to go. Thank you for jumping on that on your end.
It's worth watching, so.
Yeah, no. Good job. Let's see where we at. Technology.
Real quick, we got the official letter and check from ICAP for that safety grant that we got approved for. So just a quick thank you to ICAP for continuously giving out grants. But I think that the police department's very happy with their cameras that it purchased. So just wanted to give an update on that. So now got the check and the official congratulations letter. Other than that, nothing.
Good job. Thank you. Finance. Fire department. I will make one comment on the fire department because I know people will start seeing some action up there. But for those who don't know, the fire department is currently working with the developer up there at the White House across the street, Casey. They will be conducting a bunch of practice up there, and the plan is to have it burned by the end of this year. So you will see some action up there finally.
Who's bringing the hot dogs and marshmallows?
I'm going to sit back and watch. And I'm very excited. Anyway, so didn't mean to speak for the fire department, but I'll take that opportunity. Police department.
Yeah, it's kind of short notice that we had to fit into a time frame that was allotted to us. As soon as we opened the police department back up, we had about 3 different citizens come in and ask about prescription drug drop-off, which you have to line that up with a DEA representative to come and take the drugs immediately when it's over with. We were initially deferring people to other cities were having it, so we decided to have our own, and that was the date we were given it with. It's on 28th. It's on Saturday, and we have flyers up, and it's on social media from 10 to noon. So citizens can bring in any unused prescriptions they want to get rid of, and they'll be safely and properly disposed of, turned over to the Drug Enforcement Administration.
That's a good deal. I know we did that a few years ago, and that's a really good program. Glad to hear you guys are doing it.
That was right, because I've had questions asked.
Is that something you guys could look to try and do like an annual or
Honestly, I don't have experience with it. I wasn't my division of my previous department, but we will do some more research and see about frequency of it.
I know the one time or a couple times they've done it, it's been well received and taken in a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Deal. Thanks. Library?
Spent the Thursday and Friday of last week at the Iowa Library Association conference, and this year's theme was inclusivity. And so we've come away with a lot of ideas on how to better serve individuals with special needs, as well as families with special needs children in the community, as well as elderly and shut-ins. So we're going to start looking at some of our programs and how we can build some of that in.
Excellent. I'll also comment that under the consent agenda, we did approve a new member to the library board, Angela Conley, and I'll welcome her. And I've seen a turnaround in various things on that board. Did we hire somebody? No. Oh, well, he left. Mike's employee. So, yeah. He was like here for up, and he was gone. Driving
He actually did have to study tonight, he told me.
Oh.
He is still in school.
We'll forgive him.
It was Iowa State.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have, study too much.
Neighborhood Citizens Group. Nobody here. Ron, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to
I
adjourn.
appreciate that. All in favor? All in favor? All right. Thanks.
It seems like I heard there was an Iowa football team rated.
Yeah.